There we go. We're live. We did it. Hi guys, how you doing?
Hi.
Hello.
Hey.
Bree's running extended rest
I
for now. And
am.
I'm just go right ahead. This is great because I did Frostbourne last night, which was a major session or half a session because there's stuff coming up that there was a lot of prep for. And now today and now tomorrow is another Frostbourne. So please.
Okay, let me 1 second. I'm gonna put myself in invisible, so I'll stop getting beep boops.
Okay. You're blowing it so far. This is.
I'm so sorry. Ah, man,
Fail.
I just got news from my girlfriend.
Who is in the hospital. So
Who's in the hospital? So, let me read this real quick. All right, they're switching over to a potassium pill. Great. They're gonna probably go home today, which is great.
That's great.
Excellent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good news.
Very good. Very good.
It's been a week.
Anyway,
It's been
a week. They've been there since Monday. So we're gonna put that aside.
If we can.
Yeah.
We can't.
We
They're
led with that.
fine.
Put a
I'm
pin in
sorry.
that
I'm sorry.
somehow.
The timing was just. They added me right as we went live.
Honestly, it's a little inconsiderate of Sam. Tell them I said that. It's a little. It's not very thoughtful. That's all. That's
All right. So, guys, I wrote a cutesy little opening for Extended Rest, and Jason said it's a little try hard. I'm going to use it this one time, and we'll see what everyone thinks.
Awesome.
Because I didn't have time to completely rewrite it.
Be cringe and be free. That's what I
That's
say.
right. That's right. Don't kill the part of you that is cringe. Kill the part of you that cringes. All right. Here we go. Ready? Welcome, everybody, to Extended Rest, where we kick back, look back, and unpack everything our heroes have been through in the past month's episodes. Today, we will be discussing lists episodes. We are going to be discussing...
You can see the brackets.
Insert name of city.
World's Greatest Grandma, Welcome Wagon, and Fear and Loathing. And we have with us today Ian.
Hi, I'm Ian. I play Chimera, the Tiefling Warlock on Frostbourne.
Jasper.
Hi, I play Ruby Pettigrew, the half-orc Gearslinger Adept on the Frostbourne campaign.
Special guest Xavier.
Hello, I'm Xavier. I'm currently playing Flinster on Group Java for Patreon.
Oh, true.
And I've played many other characters in the past if you're a new listener. Hi, I'm Xavier.
And you will be playing a new character soon.
I may or may not, but I may.
But probably.
May 31st, baby. Theriathon. May 31st. Drill it into your head. May 30. We're gonna do whatever the next month. Don't worry. But May 31st.
And last but not least, Jason's also here.
Hi, I'm also here. I host the shows.
So sit back, grab your favorite drink, and let's relive Theria one episode at a time.
I love it.
That's fantastic.
That was good, yeah.
It's a little try hard. It's a little.
No,
It's not.
that's
Here's the thing. It's cute. It's nice. You ever roll your eyes so hard it hurts? There's something behind. I don't know if that's the orbital bone. I don't know what it is, but it hurt my brain. But I already had a headache, so it's not I instinctually reject cutesy. So it's not your fault. You and I have
That's
different
right.
vibes. It may
have a
shock
condition.
people to learn.
Yeah,
Yes, I do. Yeah.
that's true.
I sent it, and he was like, "It's really cutesy." And I'm like, "Yeah, but I'm the one saying it. You have
Right.
to remember
Yes.
it's me."
It works. And welcome to Extended Rest.
And welcome to Extended Rest. So, let's talk about the episodes, guys.
okay.
Jason, you said you wanted this to be a little bit kind of chill, not episode by episode, or do you want to?
Well, we
episode
used
by
to do them beat
episode?
by beat, right? And I'm I would love to talk episode for episode, but the big moments, the stuff I
Yeah.
used to recap things hardcore for people who just didn't listen. I'm like, well, that's going to be boring for people who did. So just
Fair enough. Okay. So
there's a few things in episode 4 right off the bat that I've already started writing for things in the future, and I'm really excited about. So
So in episode 4, World's Greatest Grandma, it obviously named after the cup of Susan's character because she is the world's greatest grandma. She does not remember which grandchild gave her the cup, which was very cute detail.
It's already going to interject a side note here. I mean, it's not just that she's a grandma. It's because I've been working on with Susan building, or no, she built it, but I'm just trying to make it pretty. The family tree of Nythera. And the family tree of Nythera, she's an elf. She's very old. It also means that she has grandchildren, great-grandchildren, probably great-great-great-great-great-grandchildren. It's absolutely massive. So it could be anyone. It could truly be anyone on the planet that gave her that mug.
Man, if you've ever been in a small town and found out you were dating your third cousin by accident,
Who
it's that
hasn't,
vibe.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty common for all of us.
That did happen to a friend of mine.
Well, it was Maine. Like, there's only
It's
3
Maine,
bloodlines.
exactly.
Like, there's
Yeah.
one of them created LL Bean, and then there's the other 2. Like, it's just, you know.
Yeah.
I
And they worked for
love.
LL Bean.
Did they really?
My great grandmother did for my great grandmother, my grandmother, and my aunt, and my great aunt, and
My God.
every female member of my family up
Since
until
the
my
war.
parents. Yeah, since the war.
The
So-
LL Bean War.
The Great Flannel Wars of the 90s.
I was decked out in LL Bean though. Like I had it all. Anyway,
I going back to Susan, I love that Susan did this. I love people who are enthusiastic about like what we're doing, and the more I have to work with, the more I can draw from. And if you've ever DM'd and someone gives you a backstory and it's really just like 2 things, they know you're gonna do something. If you're the type of DM to incorporate backstories, they're gonna do something with one of those 2 things at least. Susan, like everybody on Frostbourne has given me so much, but that fucking family tree is the most insulting. Like, it's an embarrassment of riches. I've had game patches with smaller digital footprints than that
And her family
that
tree.
family tree.
It's huge, and we're going to make her recount it in game at some point.
But like every
Like, it's all-
grandparent, it's like
Yeah.
I don't really know all their names.
Take out the photo
Yeah.
albums.
Yeah, it's all cool to have it look all pretty and be a presentation, but when the rubber meets the road, we're gonna be like, oh, Nathira, why don't you tell us all of your grandchildren and
us-
how much
oh, yeah.
how much you love them and what you think about them?
What are their hobbies?
Oh,
Name 3
man.
of their best friends. You better own up to that mug. You gotta. So, what else happened in that? So you guys fought some kobolds, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, we almost got creamed by some kobolds.
Pretty hardcore. I mean, it was, yeah.
People were going down left and right. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, we're not. The people are gonna come to Fort Frostbourne and just find us dead there.
Well, this bodes well.
I mean, this was kind of like a follow-on kobold attack, right? Because we had a little bit of a skirmish on the way there, and I don't know that they were related necessarily, but it sounded a little bit like, no, that's not cool. We're gonna follow you and take over. Oh wait, no, we're not.
we're not.
Ultimately,
Go find those guys. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
What I want to do is doing it, planning it out's difficult, right? Because I want to incorporate everybody who's not on the main group who is at the fort. But obviously, as that fort gets bigger, you guys are going to have more opportunities. You're going to have your own blacksmith. There's a whole system that we're working on where listeners can help gather building materials and you guys can decide what to build within your thing. But as it gets larger and more comfortable, it's going to come under attack from different threats. The threat's going to go up as you guys expand because you'll have more stuff. And every once in a while, I want there to be like a raid siren that goes off and everyone has to come defend Fort Frostbourne. And I have no idea how that's going to look as of now, but I want it to happen. And I want to incorporate listeners somehow.
Mm-hmm. And that's something that Cobalt fight you described as being a siege. Like, is that something that has specific systems attached to it? Is that like a 5e thing?
Well, the combat
curious.
is, but the siege, whatever I'm writing is just something I'm doing because
Cool.
I
Okay,
can never stop tinkering, like no matter what
Yeah.
it is. And
that's awesome.
EM Publishing is really cool about highlighting people who make third-party content and stuff. So eventually, I'm hoping to maybe publish something for them. Once we're done
Nice.
publishing the thing we're supposed to publish,
Working on it.
we're working on
happening.
it. Yeah.
So, speaking of the groups, the forts, blacksmith, and so on and so forth, the next episode is Welcome Wagon, which is when a bunch of people showed up, and you guys were pretty unimpressed, generally speaking.
Were we?
No, wait,
that-
the
You were
caravanners?
unimpressed with the caravanners, specifically the guy running the caravan, because he did
Oh,
not.
not impressed by the
Oh.
fort.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. Fort shithole.
Yeah, it's not very. I mean, imagine there's a vanguard. There's a group that's like, here, take our money, buy this place, go on out there. We'll be there in a few days, and then they get there, and boy, oh boy, it's. I mean, it's a dump.
Yeah.
An absolute dump.
It reminds me of like if you were to go somewhere and you're like, man, I'm so excited for this like new restaurant or like this new whatever, and you go there and it like is a set. Like it's just like a facade, like a wall, and you like walk past it through the door, and it's just
Plywood
2x4s
yeah.
holding it up, and you're like, wait a minute, is this a trap?
Or it's like you get there, but it's been closed for 2 years, but Google Maps didn't tell you.
Right,
yeah.
That's
That's-
the saddest thing.
Yeah.
What a disappointment. But
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Hey,
I was
that's an
talking
adventure.
more-
That sounds like an adventure to me.
I was talking about the guy who was leading the caravans, who you guys almost didn't let in. Like,
Oh,
you
the
guys
knight!
were
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Oh
Austin
yeah.
Everdon.
yeah, you guys were just like,
Yeah.
who's this guy? Send him back. It's like, you need these people. Let him
Well,
in.
It's like,
we didn't
You're
know.
so suspicious.
Yeah, because we didn't know who this guy was. Like, you know, that the description was, if I remember, they're just like, you know, fancy writers writing through the snow, and you know, we're out in the middle of nowhere, and our group
Sure.
also, yeah, and I mean, our group also has like, we've got things that we want to get done. So if there's like writers, you know, we're like, okay, well, I don't know. Maybe just take a back seat, and then they come knocking on the door. It's like, okay, who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
what's
it's also
going
on the heels of a kobold siege, and you know,
yeah,
like,
exactly.
so it's like, and we have no defense. We have no door. So, I mean, skepticism is all around.
there was a door by that. It was mostly
It was on the ground.
Talking
By
through
that
the
point.
hole.
Yes. Well,
It's a
yes,
door, but the wall is broken.
Right.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah, with
Yeah.
great door.
There's a door, with an
Door
extension.
with asterisk. Like
Mhm.
it's, you know,
Yeah.
I'm trying to like at the time I thought, man, you guys are being careful, but it is wise, I guess. Like it's very,
Yeah.
you know, if you're out in the middle of nowhere and you know that people get desperate, they get hungry, they get, even if these guys look, you know, polished and polished in chrome and like riding in, and they, you know, that doesn't mean they're good people. Like that doesn't mean
Oh,
that,
yeah.
you know, so
A uniform don't mean nothing. Let me see
Yeah.
that. Let me
Yeah.
see that badge number. I
That
want to
was
make
good.
sure you got your body cam on,
Yeah.
fucker.
Jason, what is the name? Like, they were the riders of something, right? They were the
Ye-
riders of
Everdon.
Everdon
Everdon.
Riders. Yeah.
Everdon Riders. So,
We're-
as
Go
the DM, like, how much do you think the characters in the game have heard of these guys? Like, what is their
Well, they're
what
from
is their
Esterholt.
reach?
Well, they're outside their jurisdiction, let's just say. Right? They went
Okay,
way
so
north.
yeah.
Yeah, but
So
they're kind
it makes
of
sense that they were like,
Oh, totally. Yeah. That like way like if you're down south in the mountains and stuff like that, then they get around a lot more there. These guys are kind of probing out in the wilderness and they saw somebody to help, and you know, they're all about it. but it's not completely altruistic. It's to get the name out there. It's to, you know, they want to be known as like they're trying to spread the name of Esterholt specifically, right? Because Aubrey gets a lot of, I mean, they're going to get a lot of flack for their punishment of crimes and stuff, but also they have an incredible outreach program. Like there are no orphans in that town. There's not, so the Everdawn Riders are like, we could do better than that. It's altruism with ego, I guess, is the best way to put it.
Speaking of altruism, are the Ravens still around? Just curious. Just
A form of them are, yes.
ooh. So like I like to think that maybe they left a lasting impression where it's like now every town needs their own like little outreach program to like be relevant.
A lot of it is just survival. Like if you're smaller, if you're a bigger city and you have more resources, it's kind of a double-edged sword because you have more people to feed, but you also have, you know, workers. You have people who have a diverse set of skills. So your chances are way better than like a Dern Hollow.
Right. Let's see. What else happened in that episode that you think would be
We leveled up. We leveled up at the beginning, which is new for DNR. Is, you know, maybe that was like behind the scenes or maybe like an extra thing, but actually leveling up, you know, after the introduction is kind of cool, right? And I think it's going pretty quickly. I mean, we've had our hiccups, but mostly it's kind of just fun to get excited about what's happening. We're all doing it at the same time, and it's kind of great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just to add on that, like, since I put my listener pants back on, hearing like that, this is a very personal thing, but hearing the amount of XP live given to the players on the spot, it's good for the dopamine. I like it.
Okay.
I like to hear it.
All right,
See,
that's
there's
good
a
to
part
know.
of me
That's good to know.
There's a big part of me. It's like, am I ruining it? Like, am I breaking immersion? Am I,
Chat, what do you think?
know,
I love it.
yeah, I was going to ask, it's like, are the level ups fucking things up? Or because every time we make a change, we already made so many big ones. So,
Yeah.
you know, like it's
We're always a
going,
little worried that like, is this change going to ruin it?
did we break it? But like, I enjoy, yeah, I know there's a bunch of people who want that info behind the scenes, and we're working on ways to display all the player characters and right down to what's in their pockets. You know what I mean? Like we want to have that going. Susan's been working on a bunch of stuff for World Anvil, and it's a lot of work, but we want to have it all clickable for you guys so you could just pour through everything if you want.
Not to give too much behind the scenes, but you guys also played last night, and I don't want to. Actually, I think you say at the end of episode 6, you do. You say that you guys are leveling up, so you guys leveled up last night too.
Yep.
And I think those are probably going to come quicker in the early stages, just because that's how D&D works.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, also they're playing every week.
Yeah.
True.
So
I mean, we're not getting random XP. Like I think that's another thing about it, just sort of in a meta way, is when you let us know how much XP we got, because we haven't been doing that for a decade. It's been just milestone. It's just like, oh yeah, like everybody, by the way, it's time to do it. Getting that little, not just a dopamine hit, but also validation. It's like, you actually have accomplished something. It's like, yes, I did. Oh, I get something for it. It's like a little award, and like going up in belts in Taekwondo or something.
It's also nice to see that it's not just combat. Like there are there's XP stuff for certain situations because of the way. Well, A5E does a great job of this, right? So the travel die system. What the hell happened to our chat? What happened to our chat? Hold on a second.
What happened to our chat? It looks normal to me.
What happened to your chat?
Yeah, what happened? What? Huh?
What happened to your chat?
It's not stretching off the page for you?
No. Nothing.
Oh, it is. Yeah, in the video, yes.
Okay. There you
right.
go. Yeah.
Sorry. You were right. You were correct.
No. It's all good. Let me fix that 1 second.
Yeah, you fix that. I also realized I think I gave a secret away because I edited the last episode last night, and I don't think we had said you'd leveled up on the show yet. So
They will
my
be
bad,
leveling
guys.
up. They know
Yeah,
They
that.
will
I mean,
be
They know
leveling
that
up.
It'll
it's
happen
coming.
someday.
right?
It's a thing.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
Yeah. I'm one episode ahead of you guys, but one episode behind actual Frostbourne, if that makes any sense. I'm one episode ahead of the chat, but one episode behind Ian, Jasper, and Jason,
Right.
because they recorded last night.
That
Yeah, yeah,
sweet spot.
Yep.
Yeah, which is great. I love having a backlog, but it does make it very confusing to talk about episodes that we've recorded when my whole point was going to be when you're leveling up, what's your big thought process? Specifically last time you guys leveled up, but like I'm assuming it's all familiar now. So like what's the thing that you think of first when it comes to making choices leveling up?
Oh. Well, we've been doing it. I mean, we've been doing this even when we weren't doing level ups on the show, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of them are really character driven, you know? Like, for instance, a lot of the level up choices that I've been making have to do with Kolgoth and like how he how he manifests around Chimera. So there's things where like well in the last level up from the episode that aired that we're talking about, you know, I took this thing called like Armor of Shadows, which is like get a little bit of extra AC. You get like a mage armor spell permanently on you, which by the way doesn't do very much because my dex score is low. But the idea behind it is that, you know, Kolgoth is there to sort of like keep Chimera alive, basically, so that he can siphon pleasure off of him. But yeah, it's very like character driven, and a lot of the spells that I've chosen have to do with that, or like have to do with how Chimera can navigate the world by lying and manipulating people.
I got a question about that, by the way. Someone asked if I was making you uncomfortable by playing Kolgoth the way I am.
Me?
Yes.
No,
You
not
specifically.
at all. Not at all.
I think the rest
part,
of the
right?
party. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Other
oh, for
people,
sure.
maybe.
Like,
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Susan
terrible.
is 100% uncomfortable.
Yeah.
By the way, in a fun way, not in an actual uncomfortable way.
Yeah, I'd like to think that anyone would come to Jason and be like, "Hey, too far."
Oh yeah. No.
Yeah,
For sure.
100%. But no, I love it. It's so much fun to have him show up, and I love it too because, well, I mean, it makes me uncomfortable because a lot of times when Kolgoth shows up, it's at the most inopportune moments. Like it's, you know, and that's got tension there that I really like. But I asked for that when we were doing
Yeah.
character stuff. I was
Yeah.
like, I would like him to show up when he absolutely shouldn't be showing up, because I think that would be fun.
Yeah, that's not just me being an
yeah.
asshole. Like I didn't even think about that part.
Yeah.
I'm
I
finding out.
requested it.
I don't know what this says about me, but I'm finding out I'm really good at playing like borderline abusive boyfriend characters. And the other one, like, I'm so proud of it. I was such a piece of shit. So on PG4, like, no one ever even saw or heard this beyond PG4. But
Well, you're just offering up this information about how you can
because
play
it was so good,
toxic love interest.
so good, it
Okay.
unified the party so well. So someone on the party got a haunted, basically like a cursed weapon, and the weapon would like neg the user and just like slow, like, to get what it wanted to get, like, to just please the party was so unified. It's like, we got to get her out of this relationship, this is terrible. And it just like, so I don't know, it was so fun being such a piece of shit sometimes, because like that's like, you know, I'd like to think I'm not that in real life, but like, you know, like, it's fun to be evil, like, as long as
Yeah,
no
it's
one's
fun to-
actually getting hurt.
I also think about like like you and Elle, specifically Elle loves the "Am I an asshole" posts on Reddit. Like, she loves listening to those, and both Jason and I are like, "Oh, these are so fake and I hate them." But I'm glad you can funnel that into something creative where it's like, man, what if? Like some of
Every
them are
I'm the
real, don't get
asshole
me
post
wrong.
is like, I punched a baby. Am I the asshole for punching a baby? It's like, yes. Like, it's like, you didn't do that. Like, stop. Like, you know.
They get really out there. Like some of them are definitely true, but like when you're making a video a day and you need 4 Am I the Asshole posts to make an episode,
Yeah.
you start letting them on. But anyway, I'm glad that that's reflected in the show and your DMing in a way that's, you know, constructive. And that you're just the worst boyfriend.
It's fun when those moments come up because it's almost like we all go into a little pocket dimension where Chimera and Kolgoth are interacting, and so we all sort of sit back and sort of just listen and watch and just wait to see what's going to happen.
Then you always clarify whether or not they can hear, and it's usually, yeah, they can hear.
Oh yeah, I mean, at this point, my understanding, I think we would all agree, is that this happens so often, and we basically tune it out because we don't want to be involved. Like, I don't want to hear it. Oh, la 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 la. But also at the same time, like, oh, can he stop? Is he okay? Is Chimera okay?
It's
Look,
like
girl,
it's like
I'll help you
it's
move
like-
your stuff out when you're ready, but I don't want to hear about him.
Yeah.
yeah. It's like when you're sitting there and you like as a group and there's like either people are arguing with each other or like one sitting on the other person's lap and they're like PDAing. It's one of those each time and you're just like
But it's both of those every time. It's both
All
of
of that
those
together.
every time.
yeah, it's both of those at once. Yeah.
I lived with a couple that did that. Like, they, like, there's like the living room set up and like we're all watching a pay-per-view or something and they're borderline fucking on the couch. Like, but it is so, we're pretending it's like, this pizza's good. Like, we're like,
I'll never,
like there's
I'll
like
never
5 of us in the
forget.
room. Like,
We were watching Tangled. I was in high school watching Tangled with a best friend of mine, and both of us brought our boyfriends. And I just glance over to grab some popcorn, and my friend's boyfriend's hand is like down her shirt, cupping her tit. And I'm just like, what about the movie Tangled made you like so unbelievably horny?
It wasn't anything about the movie, trust me.
It was just weird. I'll never forget that. But yeah, that's kind of what Kolgoth is like. He's constantly got his hand down Chimera's shirt.
He's connected for sure.
I always I picture him almost as, I always reach back into media when I'm trying to compare things, so please excuse me. But there's a character named Lucy from the Futurama show that's not Futurama. It's Medieval Times, but it's the Futurama guys. Does anyone know that show?
Disenchanted?
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
Disenchanted. Yes.
Yeah.
God, you're good. So Lucy, that combined with like a lot of the contract and like sexual things with Valentino from Has Been Hotel, like it's those two characters kind of mashed together that make up Kolgoth. It feels like to me. I don't know if you've seen Has Been Hotel. You should.
I haven't.
It's really
no.
good. It's
No.
really
I'll
good.
check it out. I'll check it out.
But like not exactly. Like Valentino, I think is way worse. No, he's way worse. But like it's kind of like the playfulness of that Futurama character, and then the
I like the
underlying cynicism of.
I like that. I like that comparison because I feel like Kolgoth is a very ambivalent malevolence. You know, it's very good.
Like one of my favorite Disenchanted gifs is Lucy sitting on the shoulder going, "Do it, do it, do it, do it," because that feels very Kolgoth. Do it. Jasper, what about you leveling up? Like it's gotta be weird because Ruby is the first character in Theria that's kind of more, not the very first, because I know Susan played a gnome character that was kind of a tinkerer, but like you're doing steampunk vibes.
Yeah, I mean, she's proto steampunk because I think there's still some steampunkiness to come in Theria probably one day.
Yeah.
But no, to me, leveling up for Ruby is interestingly, she's a tinkerer, a gadgeteer, like constantly messing with all of her stuff. And that's kind of what I've been doing from the beginning with crafting who she is and all of her different feats and her combat maneuvers. And so very similar to Ian, thinking about, well, contextually, I'm going to choose this because that's what Kolgoth would do for Chimera. I'm doing the same things around, well, what literally would she be thinking? Like, I can upgrade these boots. Okay, well then I'll pick something that can make her sort of charge quickly, or to dash away from someone without an opportunity attack. Or it's really about where would she be going with her adeptness, her monk style, and then just add on to that. I mean, it's kind of it. It's kind of it. Just the path just sort of shows itself. So she mechanically, as I'm putting her together, it's like I'm gadgeteering Ruby
Right.
in a way, like sort of adding on things that make
So you're
sense.
thinking
and
like Ruby as you're creating.
yeah, trying to. Yeah.
That's super cool. Is it hard in A5e, or have you found it like
No,
pretty well melded?
I think I said this last time, but I'm a really hard sell for changing any sort of system. And what this feels like to me is it's a mod. Like it's an add-on to whatever we were doing. It's completely familiar, but all of a sudden opening up the gears on like just these little tiny details about how fast can she go and why would she go that fast? It's right there in the book. It's right there for you as a choice. It just makes so much sense to me. So I'm still in disbelief that I'm so excited
In
about
favor
it.
of a change.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really, really.
Do you know what's weird? Like, our feelings about Wizards of the Coast aside, right? The AI art, the whatever, right? The unmerciful greed. Like, 10 years was basically the lifespan of 5e. Now they're doing like 5.5e or whatever they're doing, right? It's so strange that 10 years of them publishing 3 or 4 or 5 books a year, it didn't feel like 5e changed. Like, it didn't feel like 4e, we got in sort of on the end of that lifespan. But there were books that kind of changed everything about the way a class would operate, or there were archetypes that's like, holy hell, this is outside the box. And A5e feels like the natural progression. You know what I mean? Like, it feels like,
It's
and
richness.
there's so many, you know, like they put out like basically tiny supplemental magazines, the Gate Pass Gazette, there's third party stuff that they welcome in with open arms instead of suing them. Right.
Right.
Instead of trying to crush
extract
them.
from
Right.
them. Yeah.
So okay,
It's like, well,
you guys
take
know
the
I've
thing
been
you
on the
made.
table. So like the Gate Pass Gazette thing is so much like the old D&D magazines that would have exactly the same stuff, but like it's so weird how they have always had to balance and tried to balance the suing you versus we need you to survive-ness of tabletop games from Wizards of the Coast standpoint. And it's nice that A5e does have that vibe of like, hey, we're all having fun. Like, let's just facilitate fun. That's what we're doing. We're facilitating fun versus protecting our brand, which I totally get you have to do as a corporation in capitalism, what the fuck ever. But like, it's really nice that A5e has like, and the Gate Pass Gazette thing's just adorable because it does make me think of the old dungeon magazines that I read a bunch of for Beyond the Table. So,
But
it's
here's the
fun.
thing. TTRPGs, more than any other hobby, you can't do this with video games, movies, TV shows, whatever. It's encouraged for the users to make new content. It's encouraged for, you know what I mean? The closest thing I could think of is like the modding community for video games.
Nice.
But they don't
Or
really
like
make money off
Minecraft,
that.
like individual games. Roblox, I guess, has like that aspect to it. I don't really know Roblox, but like I know
I
enough
don't
to
either.
know
I'm 44. I
they're
don't know
encouraged.
Roblox.
Yeah,
I
no.
don't.
My girlfriend's sister knows Roblox, so that's how I know Roblox is by
Okay.
tenuous connection. But like, yeah, no, tabletop RPGs are by themselves like a whole separate medium in that way.
Anyway, that's yeah.
I had another thing. If you guys, Ian,
I got a question for Xavier.
Yeah.
Because I kind of know how you like to build characters. How far have you like built out level wise your upcoming character or fantasized about it?
I didn't think into the future too far. when I do that normally is because I plan on multi-classing and like I need to know by the level how things are gonna interconnect. But for this upcoming character, I don't really have to because I know I'm sticking to one thing, and it's just gonna trickle down as we go on. So I didn't want to think of it ahead of time too much. There's gonna be like skills to choose and abilities to choose, but I'm like, we'll get there when we get there, which is refreshing, honestly. Right, level one, we're good. Then the rest will follow. And yeah, I mean, we've been having this, like cast wide brainstorming channel in our Discord. And so like everyone who's making characters for Theriathon is kind of like aware of what everyone else is doing, or I'll say some of the other characters. So that's going to be very exciting. And so we had a chance to sit at the table, start creating the characters. There's still some details to tweak, but I'm very excited about this character. It's still in my wheelhouse, but still like still different from any of the other characters I've played. Very interested into trying some of the A5e systems as as we're part of the fort, and I'm not necessarily on the main feed. Things will still happen while and we don't need to record for them to happen. That's gonna be fun.
Do you have a
Speaking.
voice?
Oh,
I don't have a voice. I don't have a name yet.
You don't have a name?
No, I don't. Not yet.
you're gonna need that.
Which
you're gonna need that.
which you're
Find it.
going to reveal here on Extended Rest, right?
Yes.
By the end of this episode. No, just kidding.
Yes.
No pressure. You're
It's gonna
fine.
be so bad if I do that.
Xavierum.
Mic stand.
Sword.
Glass
face.
sword face.
I was gonna ask because we didn't really get a chance to get into it in the first extended rest, but being as how like you've been a really steady presence. Oh my God, Jameson's here.
Speaking of steady presence,
Oh,
Say his name and
And
he
he
appears. I believe in Jameson.
Well, hey,
oh my God. Hi.
what's going on?
Yo.
Nothing
in a
much.
car?
We're just hanging out.
Nice. Yeah, I'm not at my computer, but I'm just stopping in.
Hi.
Well, thank you
Welcome.
for stopping in. I was just about to ask Xavier something I want to ask the entire cast, but as we're prepping for Theriathon, I'd say Packbound played probably the most sessions without looking it up. I feel like you guys played the most sessions. You
for
were
sure.
finished first, and then you kind of had to sit on the shelf and wait for Arc 5 to wrap up, and then we're doing things in a new way. Was it like, is that weird to just wait until, you're still playing, but like when it comes to like the main arcs and stuff like that, it's got to be weird after just so many years of doing it one way,
yeah, at first definitely you feel like there's more time in your month or your week. You're like the delay between two sessions gets longer. I still get to play in Java, so like that helped. And I play with Ian on Respect the Crit, so like we're still part of the same gang, still playing.
Mm-hmm.
But you do feel it. You're like there's something missing. But as time goes on, you listen to their shows, and like behind the scenes, we're still working together. So it's still active. So now I'm like, well, turns out I'm pretty busy in real life too. So it's kind of good that I can actually just listen, and when it comes, it comes. Like when we get to recording with these new characters, that'll happen. But yeah, it's been nice to a good change of pace, which is good sometimes.
Yeah, you just said you're going to be gone for like the back half of the year, like as
Yeah,
your
this is-
house gets
yeah.
gutted, and it's like, oh yeah, okay, well,
Yeah, in case
Goodbye,
anyone was worried
Xavier.
about the hole behind Xavier, that's planned. That's a planned hole.
It's a planned hole.
So, Xavier, for our characters, because I'm making character too, just slipping that in there. And I have mine. She has a name, but we don't have to get into that right now.
some of us prepare. I'm like, it's
No. I was going to ask because I think that you and I inherently look at tabletop games differently. For me, it was very much like, okay, what am I comfortable with, but also is different enough. You went, as far as I can tell, like read the book and then went, here's the most different thing from D&D I could find
Uh,
from
y-
traditional D&D. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. That wasn't the intent at first. I really wanted to stick with the basics and see how different I could make it with a 5e, with the tools that a 5e give us. So like I was like probably gonna make a ranger or a fighter, which is not the final choice. And the final and it's one of the things you mentioned. It's from one of the magazines. It's one of it's from a supplemental material. That class.
Oh
And,
man, it's so nice of you to tell me that in advance so that I could prep the table. And some people jump on the table and after we start the show, and then tell me they're picking off the menu, and then I gotta like scramble and makes me look unprofessional.
Yeah,
Sounds
Keep you
like
on
an
your toes.
asshole.
yeah.
Gotta keep you on your toes.
That must really suck for you.
Yeah, sounds hard.
I feel like the assumption was that you had it all ready to go anyway, so I'm a little surprised, to be honest.
Disappointed,
you're
really.
right.
Disappointed, yeah.
Yeah,
Kind of let down.
No, I have. If it sounds like I'm mad at Jasper, I'm not. I have failed you. I'm not a real man. Honestly, that's what it comes down to.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even realize it had anything to do with me, so I don't understand.
No, the commenters are right. Like they're right. I'm not. Jameson, I don't know when you got to hop out, but we talked about XP and stuff being on the show now, like knowing how much XP you got for killing a wolf and like level up and everything. How has that helped or hurt you? Because there's an aspect of it Jasper brought up I didn't even think of, that like there's a feeling of accomplishment, there's a feeling of progression, I guess.
I'm pretty agnostic towards it. Like I think it's kind of interesting to see, but I don't know that it necessarily helps me in any kind of way. Like, I think it is. There are occasions, and I think with any tabletop like group that doesn't track XP, I think there are sometimes moments where it's like, have we been like, man, it's been 3 months since we've leveled up. Like, are we even keeping track of stuff? But otherwise, like just having those numbers in front of us helps with that. But otherwise, yeah, it's fine. Like it's kind of interesting. It's a different way to do it, which is interesting to see if it does end up changing anything. But at this point, at the level that we're at, not really.
Okay.
Yeah, we should just get rid of it. Forget it.
Yeah, never mind. Never mind. Throw it out.
We
throw
joked
out
about it in
bathwater
behind the
cans,
scenes.
baby.
Yeah, no, we joked about it behind the scenes, but we are all just assuming
Constantly.
we're mildly disappointing Jameson, like mildly,
Yeah.
like just like he'll still put
And
up with
all
us,
we
but
want
like
is his
yeah,
approval. That's
it.
Listen,
I have that behind this. I'm so excited to post that one though. It's really funny.
I do live for being barely tolerated by Jameson. I live for it. Like, it's just feels good.
All right. One more episode. Fear and Loathing was episode 6. You guys started your journey to Aubrey and were then attacked by wolves in a cemetery and then shot at. I think I have all the big points from that episode in there.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, there's a prologue to that before we got on the road to Aubrey,
All right.
which was Chimera and Ruby basically in a tent. Having
Oh
to
yeah, I
doing
totally
drugs.
forgot about the drug trip.
Yeah.
I totally spaced on that. You're right. It opens with the drug trip.
Yeah, I mean, it was a side note, but it was a thing.
Yeah, that was
Bree
really
asked-
fun.
Sorry, go ahead, please.
No, I love doing drugs in real life, and I extra love doing fantasy drugs in fantasy life. It's fun. I like it.
Bree asked for a title for it. I was like, call it Fear and Loathing. That'll get Ian will like it. Like that'll
Yes.
that's
Yeah. Yep. 100%.
That's to Jasper, and I was like, I guess Ian will like it. I don't get it. But whatever.
I did.
Good. Honestly, I feel like a lot of people in the audience, at the least, could probably relate a lot to Logren, where it's like, I guess I'm taking care of these fucking idiots now. They go on their drug trip. Like, Get
Yeah,
them some water, I guess, because I care about these idiots.
That's I mean, if there's what I love so far about everything we've been doing with Frostbourne and in the campaign and with the story, it's these drips and drabs of character, not just backstory, but also personality and kind of like really who they are. And so listening back to that one, the thing I liked the most was, I think Susan was saying Nythera, or she made the comment, oh, and you know what? After they've done this whole drug trip thing, they wake up and it's all really nice. They have water next to them. And Jameson's point was, yeah, but Logren did that, right? Like it's he's the one who did it. And I'm like, that's rich. That's a really, truly, really important to know.
I think they both were like, all right, you tuck them in and I'll get them water. Like they planned it. Like they're good mommies and daddies. They're so good.
I thought about that for the longest time too, because like I had this thing, because like Kolgoth gives these kind of things, like these little deals, and like I'm whenever I do them, even if I don't do them right away in the episode, like I write them down and I'm like, this is something Chimera has to do.
Yeah.
And that becomes a motivation for things. And I was like, so I thought about that for a long time. I was like, I gotta do drugs and I gotta get people to do drugs. Like, I was like, I know, I think I can get Ruby to do drugs. Like that, I think I got, But I was like, how am I gonna get Nythera and Logren to do drugs? And I was like, at what point? Because I was like, I gotta find the right time for us to do drugs. I thought about it for a while.
I really loved imagining the actual movie of this, where Chimera is trying to do it and it's like, nah, it's not working, and then like all of a sudden appears over, like, how are you over there so quickly? And it's like, what about you? Almost like a little like a little devil, by yourself. It was really great.
Have you considered hard drugs? Have you thought about it? Maybe. I think you balanced it really well as far as like keeping Chimera likable, where it's like, obviously I've been rewatching House recently along with a lot of people on Tumblr for some reason, and like the number of times they secretly drug people in that show. But like, like you accepted no as an answer, but like you were kind of like, are you sure? Are you really sure? Are you positive?
Yeah.
Okay, then fine. Like that's the way to do it if you want to stay likable.
And that's a thing. And I thought a lot about that, like making the character, because I was like, I want to be someone who is, I want to be a liar and I want to be a con man, but I don't want that to interfere with the party. And like Chimera cares about these people. He's never gonna harm them. Like he's not going to actively do anything to harm them. But I love that he is the devil on the shoulder a little bit, you know, and like that part I like, and I like to try and like ride that line a little bit because it's fun.
You did a very good job.
It's one of the oldest tropes in D&D, but it's such a hard thing to find a person who wants to be like a bit of an edgelord or a liar or something like that and doesn't derail the party. Like still works within the confines, but steers left or right and doesn't just, well, I'm going to be over here. Like you're still part of the party. You still care about everyone. And there's not a point. It's the Ironhide principle. We've been over it and over it. Why would these people hang out with you? There has to be that breaking point in every party where someone has to look. It's like, you're a fucking asshole. Why do we put up with you? Let alone like let you have sharp things near us. You know what I mean? Like it's it has to make sense.
I think it was a really good sort of showcase for why they wanted Chimera with them, I think. Because it was very much like, all right, here's him being super charismatic and giving us his best multi-level marketing pitch. And it's just, all it takes is a gentle reminder from Logren and Nythera to be like, no, you do that to other people. That's why you're here.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, get it out of your system, but we're not buying, you know?
Yep. 100%, yeah.
And it's like no one on the group is 100% lawful good, and I think that's like we don't do that. We don't do the system that makes it so that it limits your role play. But if we were to do that, there's no lawful good character on this group.
Except maybe Grimble, straight edge apparently.
I mean,
I don't know.
No, you don't want to know what's in that candy, you know?
I'm always astonished with what listeners glom onto, and Grimble was not.
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
Grimble's a
gave
little,
him that
but like
voice.
not.
You
and
had to
thing.
know in your back of your brain when you said candy as a little goblin man that it would stick with the listeners.
I genuinely thought it was going to be one of those things like that'll be funny for an episode anyway. Like you don't plan for that because there's always 15 other NPCs that need to be introduced down the line. So like, you
Get
know.
your t-shirts today.
I was gonna say, if you're listening to this episode when it comes out, Grimble for Pope is still in a beautiful shirt that Jasper made.
It will be up until the actual Pope is chosen, which should be sometime within the next 2 or 3 weeks, presumably.
Yeah,
Unless
Is it
it's Grimble.
funny? Yes. But
I
is it
haven't
funny? Also, yes.
I haven't accepted yet, Jasper, specifically to keep that shirt up there for a little bit, but I will let you know when I finally accept and they can pour the smoke out the chimney or whatever.
And then you're gonna smoke it.
That's what the smoke is. It's just chimera.
A bunch of bishops vaping.
Yeah.
I am sorry for the religious folks out there who are offended right now. It's a little funny though.
Well, I'm not.
It's Therian Pope. It's a whole different thing.
Therian Pope. Yeah, it's a different Pope. Totally different Pope. Fantasy.
We're going to
Pope,
lose you
different.
at Aubrey anyway because there's a lot going on there, and it's very like I am not a religious person, but I'm fascinated with fantasy religion, be it in video games or novels or anything. I'm fascinated with it because it doesn't hurt anybody.
Religion lately too, so I think that's been on Jason's mind through me because like we've been back and forth on theology as of late. So that'll be fun.
And I just point at the world and go, and then it's just
And then I kind of lower my head into my hands. I'm like, "You right." Anyway, I'm gonna light this candle and try to feel better. That's all religion is. Okay, so you guys stopped a grave robber. After that, you fought some wolves. You got shot at. You stopped a grave robber, but I think you guys also became friends, which is nice.
Yes.
Oh, time.
Time out?
We will circle back to it, but there's a detail during the wolf fight that we must address, and that's how badass Grandmama is. Like Sarah's
Right.
Yeah, I was gonna
Fight.
say we fought some wolves,
Yeah.
but actually Susan just blendered them.
Carved
Susan
Yeah.
and Ruby,
Jesus.
Susan and Jasper.
I
just
thought that was
blendered
so
them.
funny because you guys were talking about we barely made it through that kobold fight, and then all through the wolf fight, you guys were just calling Jason a little
learning.
bitch the whole time.
We're learning.
Like,
We're learning.
Susan
that's
was
what a
around
level gets you.
5
That's
to
what
10
it's
times.
like. Oh, you get a level under your belt. You motherfuckers have
Yeah.
2 hit die now. All of a sudden, I'm a bitch. Okay, like
Yeah. I'm just saying you all are tempting fate because at every turn you were like, "Oh, really, Jason? Oh,
Yeah.
wolf, fucking
We-
basic bitch shit.
we-
Let's go."
It was Ruby and Ithera rolling those 20s just emboldened us. We were like, we got so
that
many
will not
good
happen
rolls
every time. Yeah, that was a taste. And Jason, before you decide to make us pay for that fight like that, which you
That's not why I'm
inevitably
here.
will. No, of
not
course
why
you
I'm
won't.
here.
But just remember, it was give us a moment to have some amazing rolls and have an amazing fight,
Yeah.
so that next time we'll have a regular fight and we'll be very disappointed. Don't worry, it'll happen naturally. Is my point.
You're
I'm-
describing D&D right now.
The thing,
randomness
okay,
is
so what I was going to bring up earlier before I completely derailed and looked at the stretched chat, and that was 45 minutes ago, which really shows you how my brain works. But what I was going to say is, not only is A5E better at balancing encounters, I think, because there's a lot of wiggle room. They just tell you that in the thing, and as the levels get bigger, you know, we've taken things like the banned spell table away. There are no banned spells. There are no banned abilities. If it's in those books, you can use it. And that means NPCs and monsters can too. So I've been able to put regular, like the wolves are a great example. It's like, all right, let's put this up on the list, see what we could do. All right, what would 100 years of unwieldy magic leaking into the ground do? Let's get get fucking
Dude.
wacky. Let's get
I
crazy.
felt-
Like, you know.
I felt so bad for you when you unleashed that spell. It didn't hit anybody. I know it still did half damage, so technically it hit people, but like
But
I know that
that's-
feeling where it's like, here's
That
this
wa-
cool thing. It's what happened when I tried to get runes to speak for the first time. Where it's like,
It's
man, I'm
just-
so excited. Oh.
I don't know. It's still cool. Like,
Yeah,
it's
it's
still really
still a
cool.
thing.
You're
Yeah.
seeing the
Yeah.
world. You know, I mean, now we
Yeah.
have a sense of what it's going to be like out in the blizzard, right? So even if it didn't hit us then, it's like now we
Yeah,
know what's
that's
out there.
It was a great moment in the fight too, because it like you were all getting cocky, and then that was the ice
Yeah.
breath, I guess,
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was like
Mhm.
breath weapon.
and
It's
everybody
like,
kind of stopped. And we're like, oh, that's
wait.
new.
They can do
Yeah,
that.
just-
And
that's
that's
a good
all
little
I
moment.
wanted was just
Yeah.
it's like, oh, okay, like don't like I don't want to
think
take
you
away
know
the
what's going
moment.
on.
Yeah, I don't want to take away the fucking cool moment where Susan basically fills her rage meter in any video game and just like like that's great. I do not want to take away that. I don't want you to feel completely safe forever though, because there's no tension in that story. The last thing I want to do is kill you, because then the fun stops. But you have to be in danger. You just have to be. So
Mhm.
you know.
For sure.
It was a very cool reveal. Like,
And going back to A5E real quick, the travel die system that we'd been using had started getting stale just because every D&D player I play with is a degenerate gambler. Every single one, every patron. I'm looking at you. Know that if you're listening to this, I'm looking down the lens of the camera. You are a degenerate You've taken every deal I've given. You roll the highest possible die value with the biggest risk. I have killed you so many times, and you keep doing it. So
I hate
this,
I'm in two of the Patreon games, just to help like facilitate.
Yeah.
And
you know,
the amount of times I have to play like I have to try to be the angel on the shoulder. I'd love to be the devil on the shoulder. It's one of my favorite things.
they don't
to
need
be,
one.
But they don't need it. They don't need it at all. So I have to take the other role. It's insane.
But it's there's travel dies that there's basically tables. There's 4 or 5 tables per like biome, right? There's stuff for swamps, there's stuff, and it's divided between 4 different types of things. There's little role play moments, there's set pieces and scenery, there's environmental challenges, and of course there's monsters, right? But having that scattered throughout the so if you roll a 14 on a D100, it doesn't necessarily mean something bad. It's just like, hey, this is happening. I fucking love it. I love it so much because it's just things that are happening on the road. It doesn't mean you chose poorly. It doesn't mean your luck is terrible. It's just stuff.
Mhm.
And there's
And no
XP values for
spoilers.
all of it.
Absolutely no spoilers. This next episode that's coming out next Monday, because Extended Rest coming out on Monday, the next
Mhm.
Monday, we see the results of one of those, and it's so neat. I loved it.
Yeah.
Again, no
Oh, I
spoilers,
love that
but very
episode.
cool.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I loved it too, and that in itself is almost a spoiler if you know anything about me. You might be able to guess what's in that episode because I loved it so much. So I do want to talk about, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Jason, Earl
Eddie?
was Eddie. Dang it.
I was like, who's
You
her?
keep good notes, Jasper.
Like,
Look, there's a guy with a southern accent and a gun. I got close.
sure, that's fine.
Same. I'm sure there is an Earl out there like that.
Duke of
Again,
Earl.
following the whole like there's no lawful good characters, I don't think a single person blinked at the fact that he was grave robbing, which I think is very funny. Like that was not anyone's problem with Eddie.
That was not
No.
the concern with Eddie.
No,
No.
no.
It was
The
more
shots
the bullet.
fired. Yeah,
No.
that's what it was.
He
Jackson
shot at us,
Spade.
and our response when he shot at us was to all make fun of him for being a bad shot. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't even kill one of us. Like it, and I love that moment because again, I've played with a lot of players who would either rob him or like he's not necessarily a bad person, just desperate. And increasingly, I can look around at even my friends. It's like, hey, things some places are getting desperate. Like, your decision making isn't going to be the same as if you're fat and happy. Like, it's there, like, if you're struggling to make ends meet, if you were just trying to get food for your settlement or your family or whatever, it's going to be different. And I want to see how that kind of blossoms. Like, you sent him back to the fort. You, like, if there's something he could do for the fort, that would be fucking great. Like, I'd like to see that kind of stuff blossom. Like, you guys, there's a whole renown system for the fort and what we're working on. And as that grows, there's going to be all kinds of crazy shit that we can launch at you guys, at the Discord server. I'm very, very excited. And the fact that
I'll
we're playing
say
weekly,
that-
like, there's just, yeah.
That was bold, giving him the directions to your fort while you guys are away.
Listen, I really
that made me
think.
nervous.
Well, so I think that there's a common thread here that we may see more of. I don't know, but I'm feeling like just in these first several episodes, we've had crit one terrible things that should have burned down an entire city
Mhm.
turn into actually something maybe really positive for everybody, and really maybe not just for that moment, but maybe setting up and planting a seed for something better. Okay, well, then it happened again with the Brugal, right? Sort of like, this could be absolutely terrible. Actually, we turned that around, or Jameson Logren turned that around into something that becomes actually planting a seed that is absolutely
Chimera
going to
help.
be something. Yeah, I don't.
He put on the bonnet. He's a good
Yeah.
baby boy.
Of course. And but this is another example of like, hey, you just shot at us. The worst thing that happened for you shooting at us is that you just made her mad, and she may stab you. But
You should see what
but
those
but having a
fucks-
conversation
And I
turned
mean,
it
from your
into planting a seed,
yeah.
right?
But I mean, like,
I
from
don't-
your perspective, it's like, why the fuck would you shoot at somebody who could do that? And it's like, why wouldn't you? Like, if they were walking toward you, it's like, nah, you gotta die. I can't
Right.
take a chance.
I will say, if I were Eddie, I would have just stayed hidden. I feel like, like, best case scenario, she doesn't know I'm here, right? Like, that's where I would have stayed.
Oh, we
but-
would have
That
found
was-
him. We were
yeah.
gonna find him. We were gonna
This is
find
later.
him.
We were about to
I-
rob these graves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I loved that encounter because I feel like, one, it really sets the tone of not only our group but the whole campaign. Like, to kind of, piggyback off of what you said, Jason. Yeah, it's like, people are in desperate times, but everyone's just trying to do the best that they can, and it's like that. It's that way wherever we travel, and I think our group kind of recognizes that too, and the other thing is, I think that I think we make friends in spite of ourselves. You know what I mean? Like none of us
Because
are
you're not
lawful
awful
good
people.
characters.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I think that like all of that and that encounter really like highlighted the dimension of that world and of the characters that we want to play and that we're trying to make. And I really I liked that a lot.
All of us have that line, like, right now. Like, obviously, this is fantasy, right? Eternal winter and being out in the road and everything. But every single one of us right now in the chat, in this call, we have that line. We support a ton of creators on Patreon. Every time we find somebody new and cool, we try to help them out. They try to help us out. I'll steal from a big company in a second. I'll pirate whatever. if they're a big company, if you're looking at you, Adobe, I fucking like.
We paid you, motherfuckers. If anyone's listening,
But-
like, there'll be some behind the scenes about Adobe
Yeah.
soon.
But like, I feel nothing about stealing from Adobe. I would feel bad about stealing from a creator that's just trying to like earn a living.
Yeah.
We want to support artists. We want to do all that. But like, there is a line in our head. It's like, but that, fuck them. Like, that's fine. Like, it's just, like, in the era of Napster, I didn't feel bad for Metallica. They're doing fine. You're doing fine. Like, it's fine. So, yeah, we all have a line in our head, I think.
Yeah. And that isn't to say that anyone can use this as incriminating evidence against
This is not an
Jason in the
admission of
future.
guilt.
This is not.
Yeah,
an
no, I'm
admission of
saying
guilt. This is
steal,
never-
though. I am saying if it makes life easier on you and it doesn't hurt any person but a company, steal. Take things, is what I'm
Did
saying.
Did you happen to see Adobe recently came onto Blue Sky? Did you happen to see any of that?
Yeah,
went
I
down?
did.
No, what?
Yeah, it was
Wait,
really
tell
great.
me. Please tell me.
They came onto Blue Sky and they posted some post that was like it was like the most obviously AI generated post ever. It was like, greetings from Adobe. We love creators and we're here on Blue Sky to like help support. And everyone was just like, fuck all the way off and bullied the shit out of them.
Yeah,
And to the point where they just like took the post down and just stopped. They were just like, all right, we're not here anymore.
That's my favorite thing about social media is bullying a company into shutting the fuck up. That's my favorite.
it was a stampede.
And
It was
here's the thing,
hilarious.
I like
That
I
and
like Adobe
sexualizing
stuff.
Tony the Tiger. Those are my two favorite things.
I like Adobe stuff for the most part. I liked Wizard stuff for the. I grew up on Magic. I grew up, in my 30s onward, getting D&D stuff, spending a ludicrous amount, ruining bookshelves with the weight of my books. And it's just it's like, man, can't you just be a little cooler? Like, how many billions is enough billions? Like, yeah,
That's a whole different conversation.
it is.
But
That's not. Yeah.
so that's all 3 of the episodes. Do we have any parting thoughts before we say goodbye to these 3 episodes and move on to the future?
Put them in the vault.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Oh yeah. We're
Speaking
yeah.
of
I hope
capitalism. Oh,
Hope you
no.
listen to them.
Oh man, we're gonna re-release those. Don't worry
Oh,
though.
man.
In like 10 years. Oh
Remastered, yeah.
I
yeah.
remember the Disney Vault. Oh, people are trying. There's a thing going right now where it's like, hey, all these remastered video games, Dragon Age, and I would, I would so buy that game again if it were remastered.
So would.
I love that game. Anyway,
I
sorry.
would rebuy Dragon Age 2. Like I definitely that's fine. But
Origins,
Dragon Age 1.
the best one.
Man, you can take that and a
Origins.
remastered
Origins.
Fade and just
Origins.
fuck off. Like, just no one wants to. Ugh. There was a great anybody who watch Josh Strife Hayes has a gaming channel, and he usually does like MMO stuff, but he has a series where it's just, I think it's called Was It Any Good? And he did the original Origins and he plays through the whole thing, but it's like a 2-hour video, and he's like, man, the fucking Fade. Like, he liked everything else about the game.
Love the Fade.
It's
Sorry.
3 times you got to go through it, and if you want to do the right
I get
thing
it.
for a kid, it's like, there's 2 hours of the Fade. Fuck you. Like, it's just the worst.
I like the dream I like seeing into the PC's minds, and like the fact that all that this character wants is like a loving family, and all this character wants is like for them. Like, it's sweet. Like,
Yeah, but
Steph
that's
just wants to
1%
be
of the
with his
Fade.
people. I get it,
99%
but
is
it's
changing
sweet.
into different things and solving bullshit puzzles and backtracking. That's
Yeah.
most of the Fade.
Should lead
It's
with
a
that.
little-
Yeah.
It's a little, you know what? Remember in the 3rd game where everything got a little bit too mobile gamey?
Yeah.
The Fade is a little mobile gamey. I can give you that. It's a little.
God, if I could pay them extra to skip it, I would have. Like,
I do know that one of the like most popular mods was skip the Fade, so I can't pretend like other
really?
people didn't hate it. Yeah,
I liked the Fade. I dug it.
Fade.
Oh, okay.
It's fun.
Yeah.
I think it's
okay.
fun. I've always argued in favor of the Fade.
I don't remember it being a strain or like getting psychic damage from it.
Also, you got all
I
those
remember you had to
permanent
turn
level
in-
ups. Like,
Yeah, I remember you had to
that's
turn
dope.
into little things like squirrels and stuff, but
Jasper, opinions on the Fade?
I'm sorry, I dissociated.
Sorry, Witcher.
Sure. But I was just thinking about the podcast that we're on, and I was just thinking
yeah.
about the
don't
thoughts
you
I
dare.
had.
How dare you? How
I'm sorry.
dare
I
you?
apologize for thinking or talking about it. But I was just thinking that truly these last few episodes have felt like that narrative beginning of a big story. Like, it's like all of the setup and all of the
Like the
character,
origins.
the origin stuff, and then there's bigger stuff coming, and we're got a couple of episodes, beyond, so we do know that things are coming. But I don't know, it feels like the right kind of beginning.
No, you're right. Like, if I can
I don't
just
know how it goes
add
to the
to that.
Fade though. I have no idea what that connection is.
It's okay. I've never played Dragon Age. Suck it.
Good, it's very good. When they do the re-release, you should definitely play it, but download some
It's-
mods to get pink
I
hair. It's
probably
important.
won't.
It's fine.
I bet they're
It's
great.
like-
I bet they're great though.
They're good. They're pretty good.
They're
They're fun.
wildly different games. All four are totally different. You'd think they were from different franchises, totally different
They
games. Like it's
definitely take
wild.
the
I'm gonna
lore
I'm gonna
in
I'm gonna
between
meet Jasper's projected dream self.
Yep.
games. Off in the distance, just like
I'll say
but yeah,
this.
just-
and go ahead,
You
please
say
go.
this. I was
No,
just gonna say,
go.
yeah. 6 first episodes did really feel like we're done with like the prologue. Like we set up everything, we got the fort, people are in the fort, and then you set out for your first like venture. And I think that's what's exciting to me with this new arc is that there's a place to go back to. The adventure is not going off to a place and accomplishing something at the place. There will always be the fort to come back to after each little excursion adventure, and you come back, and the end game will happen eventually. We'll know what the end game is at some point, but we don't start knowing what the end game is yet, and that's very exciting to me.
yeah. I'm very excited to see what happens with Fort Frostbourne. I know, like, it's cool. It's really cool because it's also entangled with the stuff that I think has been so far hinted at with Logren and the dwarves and stuff. And it's like, how's that going to play into the Fort Frostbourne stuff?
Mhm.
Because that immediately made things much more political than I think I was expecting, but like in a really cool way. So I'm excited.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, hold on to that.
yeah no
Yeah.
I said this. So okay, the last thing I'm going to say, I said basically at the beginning of last session, but these guys, like, they've done such a good job prepping characters, playing them out, knowing them inside and out, and then every time there's a swing to be taken, they take just the right amount. Like we recorded half an episode last night because there was just so much, and Jasper didn't prepare, so like it was kind of, we took a long time to get stuff.
I was completely prepared. I will push back on that. I knew
You know what?
exactly what I was
You
doing.
know what? That's fair. That is fair. That's a glass half empty. For me, but these guys are doing such a good job with passing the baton back and forth, involving each other. It's no one's standing there going, "It is my turn to talk about my backstory. Everyone shut up." Like, everyone is connected and cares. I genuinely.
Yeah, we made it a backstory that wasn't individuals. We made it
Yes.
be that we were together for reasons.
Like, you all have past lives before you met each other, but like, they're
that's-
not. It's
I love it.
it's like when a friend is doing well, it's like, that's fucking great. Tell me more about, like, that. You feel
Yeah.
good for them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I genuinely do not think we can make a bad episode of Frostbourne. I don't. I think it's banger after banger. It's like home run derby. I do not feel like we can do that. I think all of us are on our A game. It's so fucking good, and
Meanwhile, Susan's gonna
yeah.
listen to this episode. She's like, haha, you don't even know. I'm gonna fucking destroy an episode.
For just the tiniest amount of behind the scenes context, when we first started like conceiving of this group and getting the information that we got for this game, Jason gave us a whole write-up of sort of what the history of the world has been during this time lapse, or at least the major events.
Mhm.
And so when the four of us started talking about what we were thinking about for characters and how they might know each other, we decided we wanted to know each other pre-episode 1 anyway. One of my favorite things that we have, and we refer back to it constantly, is we actually have a document that is a working timeline that spreads the gap of from basically the end of Arc 5 until the start of Arc 6 and everything that's happened. And we worked in all 4 of our personal timelines to that as well, and established when each of our characters first met. And I refer back to that document constantly, and it really informs the relationship that these characters have with one another. Because like Logren and Ruby have been traveling together for close to 8 years now, but Chimera's only been a part of the group for about a year by the time episode 1 starts. So like that relationship's different, and it feels different because we do look back. I mean, I look back on that document weekly before we start playing, just to kind of like contextualize everything.
But like, that's that's what I'm talking about. None of us are showing up and going through the motions. Like every episode is special every time we sit down. And I think it's because we're able to play once a week. Like there's no
That's a big part of
ring
it.
rust.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it just,
Huge, yeah.
it's fresh. There was a period where we had to cancel some sessions. So it was like 3 weeks. And that felt like I started getting the
It
itch.
hurt. Yeah. It
Yeah.
hurt.
I was like, fuck.
Really bad.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
And that was all Jameson's fault. We know that deep down, that's why.
I mean, two of the 3 sessions we canceled were my fault. So you know what? That's a little bit.
I thought it was only one. I thought I canceled. Like I was because we had.
No, I mean,
We had a mess going.
my kid got food poisoning, and I said, "There's
Well,
no
yeah.
way."
Well, it's not
It's
your
your
And then-
kid's
It's
fault.
your kid's fault.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'll fall on that sword for him.
Yeah.
You just gotta stop feeding him, and then that problem.
You know,
will take
that's
care
my
of it.
mistake. Honestly, yeah.
You save so much money.
Just rice cakes from now on.
Just-
But yeah,
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, that's everything that I had prepared.
Do we have any chat questions or anything?
Any questions from the chat, guys?
doesn't look like it. I've been keeping an eye on it, but
Oh,
like
Yeah.
if there's any last minute stuff, yeah.
There was a
Um,
question early on that actually I had the same wires crossed in my brain when the episode dropped. But when the Knights of the Ever Dawn of Esterhold came by, my brain thought Dawnstar immediately. But that did make me, and like it took 2 seconds to go like, okay, not Dawnstar. But I'm like, oh, that would have been interesting though to see like kind of like the Ravens, but the Dawnstars 100 years later. Are they still canon? I don't know.
I was talking about this, or we joked about this. I can't remember in what episode, but because the Dawnstars also have an orphanage set up to basically like up their numbers, and so we joked that the Pettigrew orphanage and the Dawnstar orphanage kind of beefed, because
Oh gosh.
yeah.
That makes it sound like they have like a little weird cult happening. A little.
they might.
Yeah, who knows?
Early on, right when we wanted to jump ahead, I wanted to break away from not like the history of the show, but like I didn't want to immediately start throwing in it's like this is the great granddaughter of I didn't want to start doing that right away. So when someone has a connection to that backstory, it's going to feel it's like, oh shit, because obviously things change, but we played for 13 years in that era, so there's going to be great grandkids and all kinds of, there's going to be lasting impressions that you guys have made from choices. And I have charted that out. I just didn't want to like punch people in the face with it right away,
That's perfect.
All the
I'm
fan
excited for
service
that.
all at once.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Speaking of the timeline, it's funny to include arcs 1 through 5 on the timeline because all of arc 2 through 5 took place in 1 year.
Yeah.
Yep.
What?
And
What?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
according to the dates in the timeline, arcs 2 through 5 all happened in the space of 1 year.
Yep.
And then we skipped ahead 112. So
Arc 3 was like at some point it became like got a month, and then that was like basically all of Arc 3, or was that
Yeah.
Arc 2? But it was like here's a month, and like that was still hundreds of episodes, but it was like a month. Ah.
it's the 2020 of Theria.
Oh God, you're right. Well, that makes me sad.
A question in the chat around materials we want the most for the fort, supplies wise. Like what are the priority materials needed for the
Smart
fort?
question. Smart
Oh,
question.
it's got to be like silks and cashmere and
Yeah.
Whiskey.
Survival.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
just a lot of real nice.
So you're all talking in
tapestries.
character right now. Okay.
Okay.
Good. I like.
Springs. Ruby wants a
Any-
lot of springs.
Yeah.
So many cogs.
Scrappy.
Cogs and gears. Cogs
Yeah.
and gears.
I'm going to be releasing there's some work to do on it, but I'm going to be releasing an updated like a fort mechanics thing, like how much things cost and I want to pretty it up because it's just a Word doc right now or a Google doc, and it's pretty hideous. So I'd like to do something to make it look pretty. And as soon as we're done recording stuff this week, I'm going to go back to it and start releasing stuff because Alan's been working behind the scenes and that bot is almost done. And just
I've been trying to break it all morning. He told me to, and I haven't been able to do it yet, but I don't know how. So I've just been playing with it. This is a different. You guys won't see this in the main thing. This is a different room.
Sarina wants Logren's answer on materials for the fort.
Oh,
in the chat.
Whiskey.
I assume joists, but
yeah,
Joyce and whiskey. Joyce and
Is
whiskey
that a
go
material?
hand in hand.
Yeah.
A whiskey Joyce.
Right now, it's like lumber, stone, metal, that type of stuff, and then we'll get real specific. It'll be like an open survival craft game where it's just you need 8 lumber to make 1 joist, and we'll just do that, and we'll refine and refine.
Right. Dark chocolate, not just chocolate, but dark chocolate, 78%. You know, we'll get specifics. I'm thinking of candy for Grimble.
I think we're good. I think we're done.
Good, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Xavier, thank you for being our special guest in the
Thanks, Xavier.
Thanks for having me.
Currently. Frostbourne cast. You know what I mean.
I know.
Looking forward to the character, Xavier.
Yeah.
Me too.
Absolutely.
I'm so excited.
Me too. I will find a voice and a name by then.
Good.
Ah, okay.
Maybe.
You got a little time.
A little
We're
bit.
good. Yeah.
All right. Bye everybody in Twitchland.
Bye, chat.
Bye,
Thanks
guys.
For showing up. Bye bye.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.